All right, guys, I'm about to take you step by step through my exact journey going from an 18-year-old who was completely lost, completely broke, had no clue where he was going to go in life or what he was going to do, all the way up into where I'm at now. I'm 21 years old. I've made a good amount of money online. I know exactly what I want to do with my life. I love my life. My life is aligned with my core purpose, my core desires. Now I live out here in Miami, literally living like the life I envisioned 3 years ago. I used to write about this inside of my journals, and I can't believe I made it happen. And if you are sitting in a spot right now, maybe you're like me. Doesn't really matter the age, but maybe you were like me, like you have big dreams and ambitions, and you want to go out there and conquer this life, this one life you have. You just quite aren't sure what to do, how to do it, if you can actually do it. I want to let you know you can do all of them, and you can figure it out. And I'm about to outline what I figured out and what helped me achieve this type of success. It was an online fitness coaching business. Why? Because I love fitness. It's what saved my life. And now that my life is aligned coaching others, my entire life is aligned with my core desires, and it brings you such a fulfilling life. It really does. So here's the journey, okay? 18-year-old Ryan. You can see a photo of me right here. I was looking all right, I was getting my tan on. I've always been about being tan, jacked, and handsome. But this was me, maybe 2.5 years into training. I remember I took this photo a little bit before I did my first bodybuilding show. I think it was like 175 at the time. I bulked up to like 193, then cut down. But this was me at the time when I was 18 years old, just after graduating high school. I was probably working at Dick's Sporting Goods selling sneakers at the time. And I was making less than $2,000 per month. Way less than $2,000 per month. Even after taxes, after expenses, I was broke. I was still living off my mom, I'll be quite honest with you. At 18, 19, even like 20 years old, I was still living off my mom, asking her for money sometimes. It was not good. I had a boss, I had zero free time, and life just felt in control of me. And that's what having a boss will do. First off, you won't make a lot of money if you have a boss the majority of the time. Straight up, okay? You gotta go out there and make something yourself if you want to be financially free. Next is you're gonna have zero free time because you have to show up when your boss tells you to show up. You gotta show up on your schedule. You can't just go out and do your own thing. Your friends may wanna go out. You may wanna go do something with your life. There may be an opportunity for you out there, but because you're on a schedule from your boss, you're in control. And that's why life felt in control of me. Because every single day I woke up and I was young, I was 18, I was 19 years old. I just want to go out there and, conquer my dreams and live this one life I have and go do things. But life was in control of me. I had to show up to work, be there at 9 a.m., be there till 5. It was shit. So I've been through a lot. I wouldn't go to the full journey, but I didn't have a good upbringing at all. Nobody taught me what to do. Nobody in my family was successful. I lost my sister 18 years old to drugs, alcohol addiction, and so on. And I was just completely lost. And she told me when I was 11 years old, Ryan, you're going to have to be the change in this family. I remember that so vividly when she turned around. It was my dad in the front left seat. It was her in the right. I was in the back. She turned around. She said, we're fucked up. You got to be the change in this family. And I remember when she passed away, that ran through my mind. I was like, all right, time to lock in. And so I can't remember. I can't remember. This is either before or after, but it was around the time she passed away. So that's really when I made that change. When I went through so much pain, I was so sick of my life, I was like, it's time to change now. And the first thing I focused on was my physique. And if you're anything like me, that's probably what you focused on. So let's fast forward up to 21-year-old Ryan. This is where we are in life now. There's a lot to go over right here. A lot of cool photos, right? Okay. So this was, this is the best physique I've ever had. This was last summer. This was me in my bodybuilding competition. I came in second. The guy over here came in first. He looked a little bit better. We're getting there. This is a sponsored photo shoot by Alphaline. This is a team of some friends I got down here, a good circle. This is my client winning his show, getting a medal. It's the car I got right now. It's a 2020 Dodge. Scat Pack wide body, wrapped in black. I love it, dude. It's so much fun. Everyone looks at it. It's so much fun, dude. I love it. This is me standing on my Miami balcony right here. It's the Rolex I just bought at 21. This is me traveling Thailand for 2 months, which was awesome. It was a couple months after I made my first initial amount in online coaching. I've never had over $1,000 in my bank account before getting into online coaching, and I had a lot of money. I was like, dude, I can do whatever I want. So I was like, I'm going to Thailand. I went to Thailand for 2 months, and it was really the time of my life, and that trip changed my life. If you can travel for 2 months and work and still make money, oh my God. Here's my Instagram with over 100,000 followers. Here's my TikTok with almost 200,000 followers. There's 6 figures generated in a year, and there's my highest income month, which is $23,000. So yeah, 21-year-old Ryan now pulls in about $20,000 per month. I have no boss. I'm my own boss. I report to absolutely nobody. I wake up whenever I want, do whatever I want. I have unlimited freedom because I get to make the schedule. I enjoy my work, and I say work because it's not really work. I enjoy it. Like last night when I was checking with my clients, I was sitting out by the pool just chilling there, going on my phone in between, just taking my time with my work. I enjoy doing the work. It gets me excited. Sometimes I'll pop up and jump around, honestly, just because it's like, it's fun. I got a circle of winners around me. I got a bunch of good friends down here, and respect from pretty much every single individual. Because when you're tan, when you're jacked, when you're handsome, when you're young and you're making money, nobody cannot respect that. It does take a special type of individual to get here, but it also takes a process. If you feel like you're that special type of individual, you just don't know exactly what to do, I'm about to outline that for you. But you may be asking yourself, well, how did you achieve all this at 21? It was this right here. It was literally just my Instagram account. That's it. That's where 99% of all the money I've made has came from, is this one Instagram profile. And I know you might look and go, holy shit, he's got 138,000 followers. And I want to let you know something right now. You don't need a whole bunch of followers, because here's the thing. I had 138,000 followers on Instagram and about 200,000 followers on TikTok 2 years ago. And I was still flipping burgers for $15.50 an hour. I remember the day so vividly. I got cheated on. I was up on the phone until 3 a.m. I went to work the next day at like 5:30. That's when work started. Like, I think it started at 5:30 or 6 or something like that. It was, the crack of dawn. I had to get there. It was so cold out. I remember I get in there, and I'm just thinking to myself while I'm flipping burgers, I just got cheated on. I have a whole bunch of followers. I'm in amazing shape, and I'm still fucking broke. What the fuck is wrong with my life? And that day I was like, I just quit, and I decided to just like, I got to make the change. I got to put my back up against the wall. Not having that money coming in anymore, it gave me anxiety every morning, but it caused me to figure it out. And so you may think, oh, do I need a big following like you? Do I need to look as amazing as you? No, because here's the thing. Even when I looked amazing, even when I had a big following, I still didn't make money. It just takes a simple process. You don't need to look the best to make money. You don't need to have the biggest following to make money. You just need to actually have a system in your social media business and actually have the ability to get results. And if you have gotten in better shape, you can help other people get in better shape. And that's what we're gonna outline here. Doesn't matter if you're just starting out or even if you have 10,000, 50, maybe even 1 million followers. Doesn't matter where you're at. All it takes is a system, an understanding, a process to make money online. It's as simple as that. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. Anybody can make money online if they put their mind to it. And that's what I'm going to outline to you here. So the real reason you are here is, how do I start a personal brand though? You first want to know, how do you start the personal brand? How do you build, the social media page? Well, it's pretty simple. Here's what you need. You need a phone, you need a physique, a somewhat decent physique, an Instagram, and some common sense. That's literally, you need 4 things. And I guarantee you have each and every single one of these things. So if you're not making money and you have a decent looking physique, literally you're just missing out on money right now, and you got to continue watching. So the questions to ask yourself right now, there's 3 major questions you want to ask yourself before go about building your personal brand or your brand identity. One is, what outcome are you selling? You want to know what outcome you are selling, so when you make content, you can actually adjust it to the people who want the outcome of which you are selling, right? If you're making content that doesn't, have nothing to do with the outcome you're selling, you're gonna attract a whole bunch of people who don't want what you're selling. So you first need to understand what you are selling, and we're about to go over that. Number 2 is, who do I want to sell to? And that's your ideal client profile. Now, don't complicate it. I'm gonna make it super easy to you, because with a coaching business, all you were doing is helping out the people who are a couple steps behind you. Like the you were 6 to 12 months ago. That's who's gonna benefit from you most. Okay, the person who's a couple steps behind you, not the person who's 1,000 steps behind you, the person who's a couple steps behind you, right? Like if you go hire a mentor that's doing 100K a month and you're doing 0, he's gonna tell you some advanced tactics that you're not gonna understand, right? But if you're learning from somebody who's doing 5, 10, maybe 20K a month, right? It's gonna be a lot more comprehensible versus the person who's like the master at it. He's gonna overcomplicate it. It's the same with fitness coaching. Okay, you may think you need to have it all figured out, but if you've all figured out, you're gonna overcomplicate it for people. So even if you lost 10 pounds, just sell to the people who wanna lose 10 pounds. Sell to those people. And once you know your ideal client profile, which is pretty much the past version of yourself who is, let's say, 30 pounds overweight, or he was skinny fat, or he was insanely skinny, right? You start talking to those people and you start selling the outcome you have now. That's how you create content that attracts the right buyers, the right individuals into your audience who are actually going to pay you for what you're offering. Number 3, why will they buy from me versus thousands of other online coaches? You know that everybody and their brother wants to be an online coach because it is literally the best business model there is. It's zero overhead. All of the money I've made, I've kept pretty much all of it. I have a couple expenses, that's it. Less than $1,000 a month in expenses. I keep all of it though, right? There's no product, there's no whatever. It's just all virtual. It's amazing, right? So that's why everyone wants to get into it, because you can make a large amount of money for less to no work. So how are you gonna separate yourself from everybody else? It's simple. You don't talk about the objective things, you talk about the subjective things. What do I mean? Everybody can agree on proteins, on macros, on fats, on carbs, on training, on sleep, on, supplementation, on blah, blah, blah. Like, these are all agreeable things that people know. Yet when you talk about you, your story, your transformation, your specific mindset, what you stand for, what you stand against, and you make your content very personalized to you, your life, and your stances, that's how you separate yourself, because nobody is like you. Nobody can replicate you. And so you need to become truly authentic and vulnerable inside of your content to stand out from this crowd of just copycats and coaches that all sound the same. That's how you're gonna get yourself to stand out. Go take a look at my profile, go take a look at my content. I've rarely ever uploaded a training video. I've rarely ever uploading a meal plan or a shopping or nutrition, whatever, like the general fitness, nutrition, habits, and mindset stuff. I've rarely ever uploaded that. Or the fitness nutrition, I should say. But I've talked a lot about habits and mindset because those are things that make me unique, right? So that's what will separate you. So first thing to think about is, let's go over what are you selling, okay? And there's four areas you want to identify. With an online coaching business, there's a fitness area, there's a nutrition area, there's a habit area, and there's a mindset area. Those are really the 4 areas, or I like to call them the 4 pillars of a fitness coaching business. Those are the 4 things you're gonna be coaching somebody on, right? So what you want to do is think about the outcome of which you have obtained in your fitness and your nutrition and your habits and your mindset, right? And think back to where you used to be. For example, in fitness, if you were skinny fat and went to shredded, identify that transition and make content for skinny fat people who want to get shredded. If you were overweight and you got 6-pack abs, make content for people who are overweight and help them get 6-pack abs. For nutrition, if you went from having low testosterone to high testosterone, make content for people who currently have low testosterone yet want high testosterone, and tell them how to achieve high testosterone through what you did, right? With habits, if you went from being a procrastinator to being an action taker, outline how you did that, outline how you made that transition, outline how you made that change inside of your content. And you're gonna attract people who are procrastinators, who want to become action takers, right? You have the desired outcome, which is being an action taker, of which your ideal client, which is somebody who's a procrastinator, wants, right? And that's when you become valuable as a coach. Mindset, if you went from having low confidence to having high confidence, again, make content for people who currently have low confidence and help them achieve high confidence. And when you do that through your content, you coach them through your content, you provide value through them through your content, and they identify you as a coach, they identify you as a leader inside their mind. And when your content provides enough value for free, they start scratching their head and thinking about, well, what does this paid shit have to offer me? Or they also feel in debt to you, like, this guy has helped me out so much, I want to get coached by him. I don't care what it costs, like, you deserve my money, you've helped me out so much. So identify what outcome you're selling in each of these areas: fitness, nutrition, habits, and mindset. Take out a piece of paper right now and write each area down. And this is gonna help you create what? Your brand identity. So let's go over brand identity. Now, here's the types of content you can post once you understand the transition you are helping people make from the transition you have made. Number 1 is gonna be storytelling. Storytelling is it's the strongest form of content, honestly, because again, what's gonna separate you from everybody else is your unique story. Nobody can replicate it. Nobody else has your story online. Nobody else is your story. Nobody can replicate it. Nobody else can talk about it. It's you. It's what makes you authentic. It's what makes you valuable, because you stand out from everybody else. So tell your story a lot inside of your content. Number 2, your transformation. Not just your physique transformation, because maybe yours looks similar to Bob or Jeff or Aaron or whatever over there, but tell your transformation. How did you shift physically, nutrition-wise, habit-wise, mindset-wise, right? That's again when your content becomes unique and you become different from everybody else. 3, what you stand for and what you stand against is so important to bring into your content. So becoming very, very strong in your stances. What do I mean? Tell your audience about the things you stand for and the things you stand against. For example, do you stand for masculinity and do you stand against demasculization, low testosterone, soy boy, or whatever you want to call it, right? What do you stand for and what do you stand against? Why do you want this? Because again, you separate yourself from a crowd of people who are scared to be authentically themselves and express their opinions and thoughts and beliefs online. And you stand out more, okay? You gain more attention because you're actually the one out there being confident in your stances. But number 2, as a coach, you are a leader for your people. And to lead your people, you need to give them strong rules, things to stand for and things to stand against. These people need your help. Okay, they come to your content because they're lost in life. So you need to tell them what to stand for and what to stand against. And once they start following your principles of life, they again identify you as a coach and you become valuable. You become a leader towards them. And so eventually they won't want to invest into you because you've helped them out so much. 4 would be motivation. Motivation is super strong. Just motivational spiels, motivational talks. It hypes people up. Again, every day somebody's having a really bad day. And if you provide a little bit of motivation each and every single day inside of your content, that person who's having a bad day is going to come through your content. They're going to see that motivation. You're going to uplift them. Maybe you're going to help them hit the gym. Maybe you're going to help them, not break down because they just got their heart broken. Maybe you're going to help them not procrastinate that day. And that small change is, again, how you provide value inside of your content and change people's lives before you ever become their coach. And that's when you make a lot of money as a coach, is when your content provides so much value, it changes lives before they ever pay you. Going on to number 5, coaching content. The definition of coaching is changing thoughts and beliefs. So inside of your content, you want to be helping people overcome limiting thoughts, limiting beliefs, shifting their mindset to help them become the person they want to become, to help them become indestructible, to help them become, limitless is the best way to put it. So you can go look at my content. I provide a lot of coaching content through breaking through limiting thoughts and beliefs by, giving them frameworks, giving them new mindsets to work off of so they can go achieve their goals, right? Physique and training videos is also good and lifestyle is also good. This is just a table of content that you can pull from, okay? But building your ecosystem now that you understand the transformation you made, where you came from, and you're putting all of that into these types of content, now you want to build out your ecosystem. So you can build out your ecosystem on TikTok and Instagram, on YouTube. You should do on all these platforms, but specifically focus it in on Instagram and YouTube. So the way an ecosystem works is there's going to be some viral videos you get, some videos that gain some good amount of traction, that bring a lot of people in, okay? And those videos that bring a lot of people in, they start getting nurtured by your whole ecosystem. So they start seeing all of your content, or maybe they click on your page and they binge watch all of your videos, right? They start watching everything. And so you want your ecosystem to be set up in a way to help a new viewer to clearly identify who you are, where you came from, what you helped them out with, what your story is, right? Your exact transformation, what you stand for, what you stand against, all these types of things we just mentioned right over here. So within just 1 week, they fully understand who you are and they feel like, dude, this guy's awesome. I love this guy. This guy's just like me, or he's like the future version of myself that I want to become like. Like, this guy is amazing. Right? That's how you want to build your ecosystem here. So I got storytelling, I got transformations, I got motivational posts, I got strong stances, which is the issue with this generation of men is most men couldn't take off their shirt in public and be confident. I'm providing value right here, how to become the man of 2025, what actually creates your dream physique. So right here, it's basically just transformation, coaching content, changing thoughts and beliefs, right? You don't need to be super jacked. You just got to be super lean to get your dream physique. Man to man, if you're losing your mind over a girl, you just ain't focused enough on your success. Motivation, coaching content, storytelling about my sister. Little quotes like this, more storytelling. Yeah, man, don't worry. Keep doing the same shit every day and expecting a different outcome. Coaching content right there. This is me right here saying, I got no friends, and I love that I got no friends because I can just focus on myself, and I don't want to be around people who don't want to, go where I want to go in life. Why would I want to do that? Something like that. That's what I was saying. People love this. This one blew up. I got like 100,000 views, and a lot of clients came to me through this piece of content, just storytelling. And again, telling people what I stand for and what I stand against. This is how you want to set up your ecosystem right here, okay? You want a variety of content that reaches, a broad audience, but also has a general messaging structure to it. And you, again, do this across Instagram and YouTube specifically. But now you want to position yourself. So this right here is my current Instagram bio. And so you want to optimize your profile in a way that somebody can clearly identify who you are, what you help them out with, how they can get in contact with you, and then you want to have some type of call to action. So right here, become badass. I stand for becoming badass, physically, mentally, in business. I just want to live the badass life. Like, that's what I'm all about. And so DM me Transform for one-on-one coaching. So if somebody wants to become badass, they might scratch their head and be like, I want to become badass. What does that exactly mean? They watch my content, they kind of get the idea of it, but then they DM me the transform keyword, and I start having a conversation with them now, and I get them to book a call with me. And on the call, I outline exactly how they become badass. I set them up with a plan. I sell them. Boom. That's how you make money, right? 2 ways to become badass. Then I got a couple links right here calling them to take an action. So that's my call to action right there. And I'm linking them to my YouTube, which is going to help nurture them. It's going to help accelerate that nurturing process, because Google did a study. It takes around 7 hours on average of somebody watching your content to feel ready to make a purchasing decision. So if you get on a call with somebody who hasn't watched your content for around 7 hours, most likely you're going to say something along the lines of, I got to think about it. I'm not really sure, right? They're going to have objections. And so that's why you also want to build out a YouTube ecosystem alongside your Instagram. Your Instagram is going to bring a bunch of people in. Your YouTube is going to help, accelerate that nurturing process. So that's why we call them to action to watch some YouTube videos. So that's a basic breakdown of how to build your brand identity. Outline fitness, nutrition, habits, and mindset, the transformation you have made, and start making content for people who used to be like you and telling them how to achieve the results you have now. Through storytelling, through transformation, through what you stand for, what you stand against, through motivation, through coaching content, through physique and training videos, through lifestyle videos, through all these different types of content, okay? Just every day, just upload a piece of content. Doesn't matter, as long as it's bridging the gap in some way, shape, or form with these areas right here, you're gonna build out a very strong ecosystem. Now, I want to talk about the online coaching story flow, because now that you have people coming in through your Instagram watching your content, they're going to start watching your stories. And the stories is really where we get people to reach out and where we really build trust with people, because right now we are at the lowest time in history of trust. People don't trust people. And so you need to outwork the bias by uploading on your story a whole bunch. You see me in my stories each and every single day on Instagram, uploading a whole bunch. I'm always talking to my story. I'm uploading 10, 15, 30 stories a day sometimes, because people have low trust, and I just want to be there all day through my stories so people see, hey, I'm actually a real person on the other side of the screen, right? And so if you're just starting out and you have a small following, what's the quickest way to build trust because you don't have a large following? You upload a whole bunch of stories. You show up each and every single day. Again, how is somebody going to hire you as their coach if you can't show up in your stories each and every single day? They won't identify you as a coach inside of their subconscious mind. So we need to have a story flow to get warm inbound leads, okay? People who are reaching out to you who are like, I need your service, bro. So here's the mandatories of the story flow: a wake-up post, a daily habit post, a workout post, a client and self-work post, and Q&As. So I got my wake-up post right here. I'm working on myself, doing my habits, get my 10,000 daily steps. I actually got 15,000 this day. I'm providing some motivation right here. I'm showing my transformation. I'm showing my pump. I'm showing me working on my business. I'm answering questions. I'm showing my habits, reading my books. I'm showing my physique. I'm doing a grocery haul. I'm providing more value. All these different types of things I like to upload once a day. Waking up, my daily habits, my workout, my client or self-work post, and Q&As, answering some type of questions. And you don't have to just do Q&As every single day, but look at the general questions that you may be getting inside of your DMs or inside of your content, or really just the general questions people may have, who used to be like you, the general questions used to have, and just make a talking head video about it. Imagine like this right here is my phone. Like, yo guys, I used to struggle with understanding, what to do when I would procrastinate. And, here's what helped me out. Like that right there is answering a question somebody may have. And here's the thing. A lot of people are very hesitant to reach out to you online because they look up to you. They don't really actually think you're a real person, right? And so just answering questions people may generally have, it makes them feel actually heard. And that's super important about social media, is making people on the other side of the screen feel heard, okay? Number 2 is nurturing. So talking head videos that inch the viewer closer to becoming your ideal client. A lot of people say this all the time. I don't have my ideal client, or I don't have enough, good clients, or I got the wrong people in my audience or whatever. It's fitness coaching. Everybody wants to get in better shape. Everybody wants a better mindset, right? Everybody wants to become better. It's just a natural human thing to want to become better. So everyone needs fitness coaching. But here's the thing. Some people just don't see why they need it now. Some people just don't have the strong urge to want to make the change. Some people don't understand how it's going to change their life. And so through our talking head content each and every single day, we're going to be inching that viewer closer to becoming your ideal client, meaning becoming somebody who's just a couple steps behind you. You know, the you were 3 months ago, 6 months ago, maybe 12 months ago, right? He's very close to your line of thinking. He's very close to where you are now. He just needs that next step, which is your one-on-one coaching. So you can see I'm always uploading stories right here. This is me after a workout, just talking about how I didn't feel like hitting the gym today, but then I shifted my mindset and I went and hit the gym and it changed my vibration. I feel so much better now, right? Just maybe providing some motivation for somebody who didn't feel like hitting the gym. They saw that story, they got up and they went and hit the gym and they're like, oh, I feel better now. His content, Ryan's content provided me value. He changed my life. I could have procrastinated today, but Ryan didn't allow me to procrastinate. Again, identifying me inside of their mind as a coach, okay? Call to actions, also very important. So now that you have these mandatories and you're running these each and every single day for months on end, I've done this for years on end actually, and you're nurturing them through talking head videos, talking to your people each and every single day, showing up, just being yourself online. Now you're gonna wanna start calling these people to action because they're not just gonna magically reach out to you. Right? The money's not just going to magically appear in your bank account. You're going to have to reach out to them and say, yo, DM me this keyword if you want to take action and achieve these results, right? Telling them exactly what to do. These people need coaching. Why? Because they need to be told what to do. So we got to call them to action, you know, a couple times a week. Right here, you can see a really good call to action I posted. This one actually got a lot of leads. A lot of people hit me up for it. You know, I did my regular story, wake up, habits, driving to the gym, hitting the gym, getting a good pump in. I used to be the guy who was consistent but didn't see results, but here is how I changed that. So calling out a very specific pain point that I used to struggle with. I was an insanely consistent person, hitting the gym 5-6 days a week, eating my meals, but my weight didn't change, my look didn't change, my bench press didn't get up, right? So what did I do? I specified the specific pain point inside my call to action. I used to be the guy who was consistent but didn't see results. But here's how I changed that. Then I provide them the value. And then I show them my client transformations. Then I show them some text, some more social proof. And then I'm just kind of flexing on the social proof saying, yo, guys, what are you guys doing? Look, we're making changes. I'm making changes. You got to get with the team. So if you want to build deep, indestructible confidence and indestructible mindset, a Greek God physique in less than 90 days, DM me Transform to make the change. And then they get inside my DMs. And then guess what? I get them on a call and I sell them. And that's what we're about to go over right here. But again, a quick understanding, call out a pain point, do a little story flow, show a transformation, whether it's your clients or yours. Tell a story. Again, storytelling is so valuable. People love it. And then tell them, hey, if you want to achieve this, if you want to build a deep, indestructible confidence and indestructible mindset, a Greek God physique, DM me this keyword to make the change. So that's the story flow. And if you start following that, you're gonna get a lot of people reaching out to you, as long as you're doing the call to actions as well. And now when they start reaching out to you, our goal now is to get the people who DM'd you to book a call with you through Calendly. So setting calls inside the DMs is what we're about to go over. Now here's the general framework of how to actually do a DM setting sequence is what it's called. So when somebody reaches out to you and DMs you a keyword, there's a couple questions you want to ask to make sure they are qualified to book the call. If you just send out the call link to anybody, nobody's gonna book in. You actually got to provide a little value before they provide value to you by hopping on the call with you. So they'll DM you your keyword. You're going to say this: what's up, bro? Tell me straight up, what are your goals? You want to understand their current situation. And once you understand that, then you want to see where they're currently at. Okay, well, where are you right now? Where's your physique right now? Where's your mindset right now? Now you understand where they are and where they want to go. Now you ask, well, what's stopping you from achieving six-pack abs? Question mark. And they start scratching their head. They're like, oh, what is stopping me? And they tell you their exact struggles, their exact pain points, exactly why they need your coaching. And then once you fully understand that, you say this: okay, look, here's what we could do. We would have to schedule a call to talk more in depth about this to see how I can help you out. Are you down? And they're gonna say yes, because you provided some value, right? You showed that you actually cared and you helped, you ask the questions, hey, where do you want to go? Where are you currently at? What's stopping you? Okay, I can help you out. We can set up a call if you want help. They say yeah. And then you say, okay, I'll send you my calendar link when you're ready. Then you send the calendar link and you say, let me know once you book in so I can confirm on my end. The prospect will book in. You say this: look forward to speaking with you. And then anchor down if you have a video sales letter or a YouTube channel. It's as simple as that. Now, here's the understanding of it. I actually want to break it down. So number one, you need to fully flesh out where this person is currently at before moving on. So when you ask, okay, where are you now? You need to fully understand where he is now before you hop on to the next question, which is what's stopping you from achieving the goal of which he stated. Because if you don't fully understand where this person's at and you just take some bullshit answer like, I'm 175 pounds, right? Then they're not going to take you serious because you didn't take them serious. Okay, you gotta take them serious. Well, you're 175 pounds, but how much body fat? Oh, I'm 20% body fat. Okay, do you have like visible abs right now? No, I don't got visible abs. Okay, do you have any photos? Yeah, I got some photos. They sent some photos, boom. Now you're good. Now you have a lot of, you have a lot of data to work with, okay? You actually took your time to care about them. Number two, you need to fully flesh out their desired outcome before moving on as well. So when you say, what's up, bro? Tell me, what are your goals? If they just tell you, I wanna get abs, that's not enough information. You gotta care about them. Okay, well, like, where are you currently at? Well, I'm currently at here. Okay, so how far away do you think you are from abs? Oh, I think I'm this far away. And you just make sure you fully understand what the really desired outcome is. And then you may even ask some question like, well, what is getting abs gonna do for you? Like, why do you want abs? What's your motivation behind wanting to get abs? Fully flesh out why, their motivation behind wanting to make a change. If you can't find their motivation for wanting to make a change, do not tell them to book in a call, because they're not gonna book in the call, or they're not gonna show up because you couldn't uncover the motivation. You couldn't uncover the pain point for why they're reaching out. So fully flesh these things out. And number three, you need to clearly understand what is stopping them, their pain point, before also moving on. So when you ask what's stopping you from achieving these goals, again, don't take some bullshit answer. Take your time to really figure out what's stopping them so you fully understand what they need from you. Because if you ask them to hop on a call and they haven't clearly identified what's stopping them, then they're going to scratch their head and think, well, why do I need to do this call? There's nothing stopping me. A lot of the times, these people are bullshitting themselves. They don't even want to tell themselves the truth of what's stopping them. And so when you ask them what's stopping them and you actually take time to dig into it, you're going to provide them more value than anyone's ever provided value to them before, okay? Number four, before soft pitching the call, you need to look back at the text and make sure this person seems motivated to make a change. And you have to have a clear understanding of how you can help them out. So before saying, okay, here's what we can do. We can schedule a call. You need to look back at these texts and make sure you have enough rapport built before asking them to provide value to you by booking in a call. If not, they're not going to book in the call. They're going to ghost you, or they're not going to hop on the call. Number five, soft pitch the call. Then ask for permission to send the link. People make this mistake all the time. They don't get a double commitment on the call. They just like send the calendar link and they wonder why people don't book in, because you haven't got a double commitment. So you say, here's what we can do. Are you down? Okay, I'll send my calendar link. Once you're ready, you get 2 yeses. They confirm twice that they want to do the call. And then you send the call link, and that's going to increase booking and show rates. Make sure to ask them to confirm with you after booking. Adds pressure to book in instead of putting it off. If you just send a link and you say nothing, they're not going to book in because there's no pressure. But when you say, text me after to confirm with me that you booked in, they're like, okay, let me just get this done now. Because if not, I might forget to text them, and I don't want to do that, right? It's going to add pressure to get them to actually book in. And number 7, anchor down with a VSL in some type of way or some type of video to nurture them even more. Again, it takes about 7 hours of somebody watching your content for them to want to buy from you online. So any type of video you have that's somewhat long, 20, 30, 40 minutes would help out a lot. And here's the common mistakes a lot of people make. Just sending the call link right away, or too easy. I see this all the time. People will DM, they'll just send off the call link. And they're just scratching their head once again. Why are people not booking in? Why are people not buying? Why are they saying, I think about it? It's because you didn't provide them any value before you asked them to provide you value. Number 2, jumping from question to question when the prospect didn't even provide enough information to move on. If you're just going from question to question like it's a fucking sales script, they're going to see that and they'll be like, this guy doesn't even know what he's doing. He's not even having a real genuine conversation with me. Okay, don't just follow this framework right here step by step. Use this framework, but customize it individual to individual. The more time you actually take to talk to people, the higher chances of them actually buying are going to be. Okay, so stop trying to get the sale so fast. Take your time. It's better to get the sale than to not get the sale, okay? Number 3, coming off or not coming off as a leader or speaking with conviction. Again, people don't come off as a leader. They're like, hey, would you want to do a call with me? Or, I think coaching could help you out. Or, I think I could help you out. It doesn't come off as a leader. It doesn't come off like you're convicted in your ability to help people out, okay? You need to come off as a leader by saying, look, here's what we can do if you want to make this change. If you're serious, we would have to schedule a call to talk more in depth to see how I can help you out. You come off as a leader and you come off with conviction. They want a leader, so act as a leader. Number 4, losing frame during the conversation. Sometimes people start asking you questions and you'll just answer them. And then you just lose the frame instantly. Now they're in control of the conversation. When they ask you a question, say, good question. Why do you ask? You flip it back around on them, so now again, you're leading them. If you lose frame during the conversation, again, it makes you appear as a weak leader. So do your best to not make these common mistakes right here, okay? Sending the calling too easy, jumping from question to question, not coming off as a leader or speaking with conviction, and losing frame during the conversation. Do not make these mistakes, it will be fatal. Okay, so now that you're booking up calls inside the DMs, let's go over taking the sales calls, okay? This is extremely important. This is extremely valuable as well, so do not miss out on it. So right here's the exact framework that I have found to work the absolute best to close as many deals, as many high-ticket deals as possible. It goes like this. You want to make sure you win the first 60 seconds. How do you do that? You always frame the call. So when you get on a call with somebody, make sure you control the frame right away. Make sure you frame the call and get them to agree to your framing, okay? The way you do this is, let's say I'm getting on a call with Jeff. Me and Jeff hop on the call. I ask Jeff, can you hear me? He'll say, yeah. I'll say, awesome. Look, you got about an hour right now to take this call. Make sure they got about an hour. He'll say, yeah, it'd be awesome. So Jeff, the way this call is going to work is I want to get some background on who you are and where you're currently at in life. And I also want to understand what you want to achieve, just so I can make sure that my coaching would actually help you out. And if it will, then I'll outline to you exactly how I can help you make that change. And if not, I'll still point you in the right direction. Does that sound cool? And they'll say yes. Now they have agreed to your frame of the call, okay? And then right as they agree to your frame, you want to get right into current situation. The way you do that is you ask, Jeff, what was your motivation behind hopping on the call with me? And when you ask it that way, they'll go into the specifics on why they booked up a call with you by describing their current situation, what they're currently struggling with. You know, my motivation behind hopping on a call with an online fitness coach is because I can't stand being fat. I can't stand being skinny. I can't stand having low confidence. I can't stand not being able to talk to the one I want to talk to. Okay, now you fully fleshed out where they're currently at. Now you want to start understanding, well, what do they want to achieve, you know? Okay, so, and look, Jeff, over the next 3 to 6 months, tell me exactly what it is you want to achieve. Or tell me exactly how you want your life to change. And they'll paint to you the entire image on where they want to be in 3 to 6 months. You know, I want to have six-pack abs. I want to lose all this body fat. I want to gain confidence. I want to get over this. I want to do that. And once you fully understand their exact desired outcome, now you want to understand, well, what's stopping them? Because if you don't ask what's stopping them, if you can't figure out the specific struggles and pain points Jeff is dealing with, he's not going to have enough motivation to spend thousands of dollars on your coaching service. And so this right here you want to take some time on, really identifying what's stopping him from achieving this by himself, okay? After that, you want to ask, well, what happens if you don't achieve this? And sometimes people get a little scared asking this question, but it's extremely important to ask, because if you don't ask this question, then you can't gauge how motivated they are to actually make a change. Right? A lot of people, they can admit to themselves that their life currently sucks and where they want to go, and they know what's stopping them. But if you don't ask, well, what happens if you don't make the change, then you can't really tell where they're truly at. Okay, so the best case scenario is to say, well, there's no way I'm not going to make this change. Like, I have to make this change. I've been putting it off for so long. Like, I got on this call because I need to make this change, right? Most of the time, if you follow this framework correctly, that's exactly what people will say. And if they don't say anything along those lines and they're just like, you know, it'd be nice to make the change, but I don't really need to change it. I don't really need to make it, you know. Make sure you don't move on. Don't move on, because their motivation isn't strong enough. They don't see why they need to make the change now. And if they don't see why they need to make the change now or today, why would they sign up with you today? Why would they not just say, oh, let me think about it, let me put it off, right? So that's why it's extremely important to ask this question. And the last question of the sale is, well, why now? Well, Jeff, why do you reach out to me now? Why are you looking to invest into a fitness coach now? And the reason you want to ask it specifically that way is because If you don't, again, they can say, well, I got to think about it or whatever. And the thing is, with the sales, you want to overcome objections before you price drop. So when you say, why are you looking to invest into a fitness coach today? If they don't agree that they want to invest into a fitness coach today, then you need to take time to help out their thinking, to make them realize why they need to make the change today, right? If they don't tell you specifically why they need to make the change today and what happens if they don't, then they're not going to buy. So these two questions right here, extremely important. Now the sale is done. Now we're going to go into closing. So once you have gathered all that information, where they're at, where they want to go, exactly what's stopping them, right? The bridge they don't have to bridge the gap between their pain points and struggles and where they want to go and why they need to make the change today, why they're deciding to finally change. Now you say this, look, Jeff, you're a great fit for my coaching, but not because you want to get six-pack abs and lose 30 pounds of fat, but because and you want to complement their personality. And this is the dark magic of closing right here. Complement the personality by saying exactly what I said and saying it this way. But because you said that one thing, and for example, it might have been something he said on the call, but you said, you feel like you have more potential inside of you, but you're just not achieving it. And I love that because that's exactly how I used to feel. And I love that because that's exactly why I started this coaching. Because when I got my first fitness coach, he helped me reach my potential. And I spent so long, knowing I had more potential inside of me, but just not knowing how to achieve it. And so, fitness coaching changed my life, and that's why I started, because it changes other people's lives. And that's why you're a great fit for this. Not just because you want to lose those 30 pounds, not just because you want to get abs, but because you know you have more in you. And you have that drive to want to unlock it. And that's why I like you. Again, you want the client, you want the prospect, I should say, to qualify themselves, okay? You don't want to be qualifying yourself to the prospect. You want them to qualify themselves. So that's why you frame it that way. That's why you say you're a great fit that way, okay? And then after that great fit spiel, that dark magic spiel, you want to ask for permission to present solutions. So I have to go over that. Jeff, can I tell you right now exactly how we can help you achieve six-pack abs and lose 30 pounds over the next 180 days? And they say yes. You ask for permission to present solution. And now you want to outline your entire coaching process. Whatever it may be, tell them exactly how you're going to achieve the results of which they want, and make sure to sell the outcome, not the process. Sell the outcome. Of course, tell them the process, but focus on selling the outcome, right? So look, you're 30 pounds overweight right now and you don't have abs, and the way we're going to help you get those abs and gain that confidence and overcome that procrastination in 180 days, literally by summer, is we're going to do this, that, and the third. Again, really, really, really honing in on selling the outcome, okay? And then you want to say, does that sound like it'll work for you? You want to make sure you ask them, does that sound like it'll work for you? Because if you don't ask this question, then you don't know if it's going to work for them. In your mind, you might be thinking, yeah, this is going to work for him, but he hasn't admitted it yet. So you need to ask, does that sound like it'll work for you? And, if you present it correctly, if you outline it correctly, he'll say, yes, it sounds like exactly what I'm looking for. And you want to make sure people are saying that. If not, watch back your sales calls and see where you're going wrong. But people should be saying, yes, that sounds like exactly what I'm looking for. And then you want to ask, well, why? And make sure they tell you why, okay? Because now, again, they're selling themselves on your process, okay? People will always believe what comes out of their mouth and nothing that comes out of yours. Then you want to push back. Now the sale's going well. Everything's going amazing, but here's the thing. You're not a salesman. You're an online fitness coach. And so what does that mean? You got to hold them accountable. You got to have non-negotiables. This change isn't going to be easy, so you got to present your non-negotiables. You got to push back on them. So at this point in the sales call, I would say, well, look, Jeff, it's great and all, but I want to make sure you're willing to do what it takes to make this change. Are you cool with that? Yeah. So, first things first, can you check in with me each and every single week? Yes. Okay. Can you track your macros and follow the meal plan each and every single day? Yes. Okay. Can you track your workouts each and every single day? Yes. Okay. Can you hop on the one-on-one calls with me each and every single week? Yes. You outline the non-negotiables of your coaching service and get them to agree to exactly what they have to do to achieve amazing outcomes. The reason we do this is, again, reminding them what they have to do, and again, making sure they're actually committed to this process. Because the more commitments you get, the more times they say yes, the more times they agree that they're committed to do what it takes, the higher your closing rate's going to be. And if you follow this at the end of the close, they can't say, I don't want to do it, because they agreed so many times to the process. They committed so many times that they want to make that change. And so any objection you have is just like a bullshit answer that you just got to help them overcome. And this is how you close 90+% of your deals. Of course, some people are going to be broke, but majority of the time, you should be closing most deals, okay? Then you want to go over next steps. So once you push back on the non-negotiables, then you want to go, okay, so we're going to go over investment options here in a couple moments, but I want to let you know what next steps look like. After we go over investment options, though, and we pick one out for you, we would get you onboarded on this call. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes. Do you have time to do that? The reason you want to go over next steps and ask them if they have time to do that and if they're willing to get onboarded on the call is because if you don't, once again, they can say, well, can we do it later? Or can you just send me the link and I'll get signed up? Or I got to think about it or something like that. You want to make sure they're committed to getting set up on the call, or else they're going to have some bullshit objection. And then overcoming objections after price dropping is just hell. And so this list right here helps you overcome pretty much every single objection somebody may have besides money. Okay? So you go over the next steps just like that. Then you go over investment options, and then the close is done. Whatever investment options may be, then the close is done. And if you follow that framework, I'm telling you right now, you're going to make thousands, okay? Now here's what to do with the pricing. What not to do. Price your coaching compared to the competition or other coaches. Example, $250 a month, $600 for 3 months, $1,000 for 6 months, $1,800 for a year. Like, this is the competition average, the industry average. You don't want to sound like all the other people once again, and you don't want to be broke. Like, this right here would make you broke. This is barely anything right here. Now here's what to do. Sell a high ticket coaching offer. Why? You make more money. The client is more likely to succeed because they paid more, so they're more invested. More money per client gives you more time to build the business instead of constantly chasing down clients. No matter what people tell you, getting coaching clients is hard, so extracting as much value from each client is the intelligent route. If someone wants to buy, the price also usually doesn't matter. Okay, if somebody actually wants to buy and they really want to make the change, and again, this all goes on in the sale, it doesn't matter if it's $250 a month or $500 a month. They're going to buy. Matter of fact, the more expensive it is, the more likely they are to buy. Because if you follow this entire framework right here and you pull out so much motivation and you provide so much clarity and then you say it's $250 a month, they're going to think that's cheap. That's cheap. This must not be that good. So if you sell high ticket, when you price drop like $2,000 to $3,000 for your coaching, they're gonna be like, dude, this shit must be good. This shit must be good. And that's gonna motivate them to want to actually invest because you're different from everybody else, So high ticket pricing model I used to make my first $10,000 online was $2,000 for 3 months or $3,000 for 6 months. And this creates irresistible pricing because it's only $1,000 more for 3 months more. Right? And the amazing thing about this is 6 months is a perfect amount of time to make an amazing transformation. And again, the coaching business model runs on transformations. The better transformations you get, the more money you make. And the less you have to work to get clients because you're going to get referrals. People are going to see on your social media, right? So you want to be getting people signed up for 6 months. Never sell month to month. Never. I wouldn't even sell less than 3 months. I only sell 6 or 12 months now because I just want transformations. That's all I want. I just want to help people out. Right? But also you're getting paid $3,000. You literally have to sell a little over 3 people a month to make 10. If you sell like 5 or 6 people a month, you're making like $250,000 per year, right? Like that's easily achievable. So that's why you should be selling high ticket. It's better for you and it's better for the client. Common mistakes people make though is selling the month-to-month coaching. Like I said, never sell month-to-month. Never even downsell the month-to-month. Not having transformational conversations on the sales call, once again, just following the framework like a salesman and not actually taking your time as a coach to work with them, to help them out, to overcome limiting beliefs and provide clarity to them. Like that's your job as a coach. So as a coach, you need to be having transformational conversations on the sales call, or once you price drop, they're not going to see why it's valuable. Okay? So you might get people who cry on the call, and honestly, that's great. Because a lot of people are dealing with some real fucking pain, and that's why they need your help. Not having enough belief and conviction in your service is also a really big issue. Okay, if you don't believe and you aren't convicted in your transformation, then, your level of belief and conviction in what you're selling, if it's up here, your client, it can only come up here. And so yours needs to be up here. Because then the prospects can be at least right here, right? Like your prospect's belief and conviction in your service is never going to be higher than yours. So you need to truly believe and be convicted that this is like the best investment, the best change they could ever make, okay? Not doing your job as a coach to overcome objections. Again, your job as a coach is to change thoughts and beliefs to help them overcome limiting beliefs. Okay, if they hopped on a call with you and took an hour to pour themselves out to you and you take a bullshit objection like I have to think about it, you are a shitty coach. It's your job to help them overcome that limiting belief or that objection or that obstacle inside their mind. So never take objections for an answer. Letting people think about it too. What do they got to think about? Clearly their thinking process doesn't work for them because they need a coach. I'm not saying it's that bad, but like we all need coaches, right? We all need people to help us think, to help us make decisions. So it's like thinking about it. Well, I like to ask if somebody says that, well, it's like, hey man, you've never achieved the results you want. I don't say exactly this, like custom tailored to it, but this is the framework. So look, you got to think about it, right? I would first ask, what do you got to think about? And I'll tell you, well, let's got to think about it, look at everything else. Sometimes they'll say, well, I want to go look at all the other coaches. Okay, well, how do you plan on kind of weighing out and judging which coach to go with? And they get stopped dead in their tracks and they're like, fuck, I don't know. Because they have no clue. There's nothing to think about. They're just going to stay stuck. And when they say I got to think about it, just realize they got to stay stuck. And most of the time, this is a money objection. So just realize that. When they say I got to think about it, it's most of the time a money objection. So circle back around and come to logistics. Selling the process and not the outcome. Once again, you're selling your fitness plan, your nutrition plan, your daily habit tracker, your check-ins. Nobody wants to do that bullshit. They just want the outcome. Sell the vacation, not the process, not the work. Sell the vacation, okay? Now what? Now that you close the sale, now what do you do? This is the coaching Ferris wheel right here, okay? This is the way it works. So, as you're selling people and they're getting on your coaching program and they're making transformations, you got one client losing 50 pounds, one gaining confidence, one saying my life has completely changed. You got story posts to your one-on-one calls with your clients. You got before and afters. You got weekly progress updates. You got texts and testimonials. You're posting all these things on your social media. You have a Ferris wheel going on. So your audience is watching people get on this Ferris wheel and seeing their lives change, right? You ever see a line up to the Ferris wheel? Everyone's bored, everyone's tired, they just want to get on the Ferris wheel, but then they get on it and they're all excited, they're all fun, and they run off the Ferris wheel all happy and their vibrational energy is high, right? That's what you want going on here. You want to just be fucking like spieling all of your client transformations and everything you're doing inside your coaching business on your social media like a Ferris wheel, so people feel left out. So people are like, dude, I gotta get lined up for this Ferris wheel. Like this is a fun ride right here. And so people come off with successful transformations and testimonials, exactly how you want it to operate. Okay, so make sure you share your client results each and every single day so your audience sees what they're missing out on. And so here's everything you need for successful client transformations, testimonials, and high tickets. You need three things. You need Trainerize, you need School, and you need Calendly. So Trainerize is going to be the training app for your clients. You're going to be able to upload client plans inside of Trainerize. So their nutrition plan, their meal plan, and their daily habits. You also have client check-ins. You can do the check-ins with them. You can have client tracking. This is where you're going to get your clients' results. You also want to make sure you have a school community built out. So a school video course and a community. This heavily increases the perceived value of your coaching and also success rate, because now there's competition. You got weekly community group calls going on. People are joining up. They see the other men winning, right? Now they're competing against each other. And accountability partners, it is just literally shown to dramatically increase the results of your clients. So once you get your clients into community setting like school and weekly group calls, you will see like your clients just fucking crushing it all the time. Because that's what people need. People need community. People need to feel like they're a part of something. So make sure you have school. The video course as well, the way you want to set up the video course is literally just like answer all of the common questions that people have, so it saves you a whole bunch of time, right? If you're constantly answering the fine, minute, dumb questions that everybody has, you're just wasting a whole bunch of time, and you could spend that on a lot better things like social media and, building your business. So have a video course that answers all of the fine questions, okay? And people love this because it gives them instant access to something as soon as they buy. So like I was saying, instant access to something after purchasing, and then you want to have Calendly for one-on-one coaching calls and also taking sales calls. So these are the three things you really need. Now you might be asking yourself, well, how long will this take? How long will it take for me to build my personal brand online and start making $10,000 per month? And I have a little estimate for you right here. So starting from ground zero by yourself, right around 1 to 3 years possibly, because it took me a year and a half, 2 years to build my social media, and it took me, as soon as I started my coaching business, I made like $1,000, but it took me about a year and a half to hit my first $10,000. So it took me 2.5, 3 years to hit $10,000. Starting from ground zero with a mentor though, 3 to 6 months. And I say that because as soon as I got my first business mentor, I hit $10,000 in a month within like 30 days. Like I was struggling to do like $5,000 per month, And then right when I hired him, I hit like 10,000, like 30 days after. Mentors help out a lot. Starting already with a coaching business, 1 to 3 months, okay? So like your best bet, if you're starting from ground zero and want to get to $10,000 ASAP, is getting a mentor. If you already have a coaching business, like you're like literally the moment you sign up, you're gonna make more money. It's the amazing thing about it. So yeah, guys, that's how 18-year-old Ryan, who was making less than $2,000 a month, had a boss, 0 free time, life is in control of me, just not even close to where I wanted to be, just fucking drifting through life. Got to right here where I'm at 21 years old. I don't even know how I'm living this life. I just got up each and every single day and I took action. And that's realistically all you guys have to do. You just have to get up every single day and take action towards something. And day by day, as you build that compounding interest, eventually you'll have a great big empire. And you look back and you go, wow. It's insane what you're able to accomplish if you just take action. And so I wanted to make this video for you guys because this business model, everything I just taught you has literally changed my life. And I really want to help it change yours as well. Because again, I got into fitness coaching because my transformation changed my life. And I'm now getting into helping other people build or I should say start and scale their online fitness coaching business, because this also changed my life and I'm so passionate about it. I love it, bro. I wake up to my dream life each and every single day. And so I hope everything I provided you right here provided you a whole bunch of value and can help you get started or can help you, break past $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, wherever you're at. I hope it can help you out. But next I want to go on to actually how I help people get results. I'm going to share with you the back end of my mentorship now. So if this provides you value and you don't want to hear about that, go ahead, click off the page. I'm only actually looking to work with like serious people who actually want to invest in themselves and actually want to take shit serious and actually want to get results. So if you feel like you're a person who has the drive, who is ambitious, and who's ready to start making $10,000 per month with the online fitness coaching business, let me share with you exactly how I would help you achieve that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to share with you exactly how I help people achieve results, the systems behind PR mindset, and the course to go along with it. Okay, so this right here is going to be your Notion dashboard. Each and every single one of my one-on-one clients has their own Notion dashboard. And on here, this is where we can customize their entire experience and their entire game plan to achieve whatever result they have. Now, of course, everyone has like the same end result. They want to make $10,000 online, right? But everyone's different. Everyone has a different niche. Everyone has a different customer avatar. Everyone has a different story. So it has to be personalized person to person. So, you'll get your name right up here, status, checkpoint, headline offer. Right here, we got the PR mindset home base. So setup instructions. This right here is going to be a roadmap. It's a 120-day roadmap to success. So it's pretty much each phase outline on exactly what we got to go through to get you to $10,000 in a month. Okay, phase 1 being content and messaging. First thing we want to do is just make sure we lay the baseline of your content on Instagram and YouTube. Just making sure that everything is good there. Okay, because that's going to be the biggest bottleneck for most people, is just understanding what to do with their content and how to message the people in their audience correctly. Phase 2 is conversion mechanism. So now that we got views coming in, people are actually interested in what you're talking about. Now we need to convert those people through using a VSL. So we're going to set you with a VSL. I'm going to help you create this VSL specifically to you, your audience, your offer, and just all around you. Okay. Then we'll throw that up in there. We'll start booking calls with that. And phase 3, we'll start converting leads. We'll have the VSL in place, and this is where we're going to run a seamless call to action to that VSL once a week, getting people to watch that VSL, get nurtured, DM you, and book a call with you. Phase 4 is nurturing accelerator. So now that we got that entire system right there, built out your booking calls, the biggest issue you'll run into is actually just nurturing. So people will hop on calls and they won't really know who you are, what you sell, or what you stand for, what you stand against, right? And so getting them to buy, or especially getting them to buy high ticket, is going to be hard. So we want to accelerate that nurturing process as fast as possible through YouTube. And I teach you exactly how to build out your YouTube to nurture people very fast. So people are hopping on calls with you and they're literally just repeating lines from YouTube videos. They're saying, I love that. Or, I reached out to you specifically because of this and I want your stuff. And if you don't coach me, I don't know what I'm going to do. People say that. Phase 5 would be product development. So now that you start to get paid, okay, we want to get paid first. Now we start really building out your products. So give you all the blueprint, help you start building out your school community, start helping you build out the whole backend system. Okay, I give my backend system to you. So everything I've gained over the past 2 years of online fitness coaching, everything from a Notion dashboard for your clients, everything you need inside of Trainerize, all the documents, every way to check in, et cetera, but also help you build out that school community. And that heavily increases the ticket price of your coaching. And then phase 6 is just bottlenecks. So that's where we start working on just a bottleneck basis. Once we have laid the baseline, now it starts to get a lot more specific, or just heavily focused on, okay, currently what's the bottleneck in the business? What do we have to go back and redo or refine, right? Coming back to the homepage, we'll have your platforms linked right here. You have your one-on-one calls, and you'll have some client resources. And then right here, we're going to hop on a one-on-one call each and every single week for over an hour. And this is where we're going to, give you your next steps, but also give you your specific steps, right? So we got the phases, but you also need specific information. So these phases are customized to you. So you have your past tasks and call notes, or your current task and call notes, and each call will come in here and, write out a to-do list for everything you got to do, right? Link everything, give you everything you need. Okay. Right here's your actual roadmap. So as we check things off, it'll move you down. It can open these things up and teach you exactly how to do it step by step. All right. So you wouldn't even need my help, but I'm still here. Current priorities, onboarding. So right when you get your Notion dashboard, you know the next steps. And then we have a growth tracker, so we can actually track your DMs, clients closed, calls booked, revenue, short form post, story post, long form post, and whatever else we find we need to track inside of your business to kind of see, okay, what's the weak link inside of your business, so we can, focus on it. Because let's say, okay, revenue is not where it needs to be yet. It's not $10,000. Okay, well, we take a look at all the numbers and we see, okay, well, short form post is only at 15. Well, that's an issue. Let's increase that. And if we increase short form posts and we see more DMs, oh, that's great. And we see more revenue. Okay, boom, we fixed the bottleneck. So this is kind of what Josh V's Notion dashboard is looking like in the moment. He just joined this month. He's been on the program for less than a month. And we've only had 2 calls together now. And he's still on phase 1 because he moved so quick. So he already made $1,000, which we weren't even planning on doing, but he hopped on a call and sold a $1,000 plan. Before we even got him to booking calls, we were focusing on the content first, but he has made money right away with the system. So that was amazing. And then, as you can see, call 2, we just focused on the content and messaging. And then call 3, pretty much he was already getting people coming to him, asking to buy, like booking calls. So we just focused a lot on sales. I gave him a whole sales masterclass on our call. And as you can see, right, everything tracking as much as we can right over here. Yeah, this is Josh's dashboard. Now, alongside of the business coaching, I do also offer my fitness coaching included inside of the mentorship. And a lot of mentors don't do this. A lot of business coaches or people, coaching coaches. The people out there who are coaching the fitness coaches, a lot of them, actually, none of them actually train you at all. None of them actually help you get a better physique. Now, look, if you have an amazing physique, awesome. But for some of you, you haven't achieved that next level physique yet, right? Okay, you look good and you probably gain a following, gain attraction. But if you want to achieve that next level physique that brought me from less than 10,000 to over 130,000 followers on Instagram, that's what I'm going to coach you on. For example, here's my boy Elliot. Okay, we're bulking up with him right now, but we did a really good cut with him. I'll bring you back to where he started. And this is just about a 90, maybe 110 day difference. So he came into the program looking just like this, right? Kind of soft, definitely not social media lean. And in just, 90, 110 days, something like that, he got looking like this. Absolutely crazy looking, right? And he had videos ripping on TikTok like that, like 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 views. So yeah, you get the fitness coaching alongside of that. So you get your custom meal plan, your custom training program. That's what the meal plan looks like here really quick. It's very in-depth, everything you need to know. And also by doing this, you're actually going to get better results for your clients, because I've had amazing results from my clients. So getting into my coaching experience, it's going to help you also coach your clients if you're just starting out. Okay, maybe you're somebody who's already very advanced and you don't need this at all. But a lot of you, I know you're kind of just starting out, and this is going to massively help you out. And this is what's going to massively differentiate from all the other mentors out there. They aren't actually coaching your physique and helping you build like their biggest marketing aspect, which is how you look. Now, coming into the community and the video course aspect of it all, we have PR Mindset, which is a school community. Okay, we got all the videos laid out right here. So your welcome video, building your foundation. So making sure that we build a strong foundation before we build your dream life on top of it. Okay, I'm all about mindset. That's why there's 2 or honestly 3 whole mindset training videos before you get into anything. Okay, because your mindset is what's going to hold you back. The bottleneck is always going to be you. So we want to make sure that your personal development heavily exceeds the level of success of which you are trying to achieve. So we'll build your foundation. Here's the videos if you want to stop and look at them. Mindset mastery, 10K months are hidden behind mindset, making sure we master your mindset, learning how to future pace yourself, the 1% fundamentals,
So there's a lot of different programs, macro masterclass, the PR method. This is the method that I've used to change my life and be dialed each and every single day. Mastering the art of training, a lot of good stuff in there. And then we got social media growth and optimization, a bunch of different things about, the starter pack, the scaling guide, the branding guide, the content ideation, the nurturing overview, the Instagram funnel, the story flow, relationship nurturing, bio optimization. Then we got call to action, booking calls, how to actually post seamless call to actions. A lot of people post very shit call to actions. For example, I'll show you what that looks like right here. Most people will post a photo just like this and it looks like an ad. It sucks. This sucks. It's not going to get you clients. People may reach out, but they're probably not booking calls with you or even hopping on the calls. DM setting sequence, Calendly setup. We got sales. So I heavily focus on sales because if we can get you really good at selling, then you're going to be really good in your content as well. Because content is sales. Your stories is sales. DM setting, it's all sales. Everything is sales. So it's anti-sales, that's psychology selling, the flow script, sales calls, replays, so calls have actually taken, objection handling, alternative payment options, and tactics. We got business development. So everything you need to develop your business, everything I've built up over the past 2 years as well. We got client fulfillment and success, which is just one video module teaching you how to guarantee client success. High ticket offer creation. So high ticket offer creation, high ticket offer pricing, high ticket offer closing. And this is a very valuable module because I can tell you right now, okay, go sell 2 months for 3K, or go sell 3 months for 2K, go sell 6 months for 3K. And a lot of you guys may pitch that, but have no clue how to close it. And so that will help you out. Funnel creation, optimization, everything I know about the high ticket offer funnel, the low ticket offer funnel, everything. Okay. We got mastermind replays as well. And the masterminds over here in the calendar. You can join up every single Wednesday and every single Sunday. We have 2 weekly group calls that run over an hour with a lot of like-minded individuals. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's the breakdown of the back end of my systems. If you want to learn more on how we can actually tailor these systems to you and help you achieve the outcome of which you want, I'm going to leave a call link down below where you can hop on a one-on-one call with me. Okay, I want to get a little background again, where you're at, where you want to go, kind of find out what your bottlenecks are, see if it makes sense for us to work together, and see if the investment actually makes sense and will help you get to $10,000 per month as an online coach. Now, I'm only looking to work with people who are actually committed to this. So you've probably built up some type of following. You're posting in some way, shape, or form. If you're literally just starting out, just take the information I gave you, go do it for a couple months, see if you can even stay consistent with it, and then book in the call. But this is for people who want that next step. It's pretty much putting what you're already doing on steroids is the best way to actually put it, okay? So if that's you, I will see you on the call. I look forward to speaking with you, and I look forward to crushing it with you this year. Other than that, guys, I appreciate you for watching. I hope I provided you a lot of value, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.